world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host and curious listener, here she is, Chris.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to September. Welcome to Curious Times. September 3rd. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, it's starting to get already dark a little bit outside. I hate that. And so it's just about that time of year, you know. I'm waiting any day now to watch, like, one day the leaves are all green, and then the next morning you wake up and it's like it looks like 3/4 of the leaves are changing color. That will signal the end of our little blink of an eye of nice weather. So Hillary Black is here today, and the topic is spiritual coaching and laws of success. How interesting is that? And we got a few more topics all the way out to the end of the year. Hillary gets the grade A star grading for a user-friendly guest. And so not only does she come with a topic, but I know it in advance, months ahead. Yay! Okay, so it looks like we're off tomorrow. Tuesday, though, Lisa's here. Wednesday, Barbara DeLong. Thursday, Amy Kavanaugh. Friday, Selva Dutton. Saturday, I really highly doubt that Yvette will be making it. So we know that Yvette Howell's husband had a really bad trucking accident, and sounds like he took a really severe head injury, and so much so that Yvette was going to be trying to get there to like whatever state, I want to say California or wherever he had the accident. And so that is really going to be highly doubtful. Plus, Yvette lives in Texas. I don't even know the state in the situation of her location as it relates to the storms recently. The rain and the whatever that starts with an H. Anyhow, the hurricane. The hurricane with the H name. And so that we'll just have to play it by ear. Okay, for that. And everybody please send your prayers, and everything like this up for Yvette's husband for a speedy and full recovery. And, everybody, of course, already sending prayers for all those people affected by the storms and extreme flooding and all of that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's what's coming up in the next little bit. And back over to what's happening today is we have Hillary, Spiritual Coaching Laws of Success. Hillary is a psychic medium. She uses cards and many other modalities. She's really amazing at using her pendulum. It seems to work really well for her, and she often will use that as almost like a validation or a double check on an answer that she's giving somebody. She's coaching people. She's coaching people in personal areas and as well as in business. She's got all the clairs. She's also a minister, and she uses tarot in addition to her own innate skills and abilities. And so you can find out more about Hillary at www.askhillaryblack.com. intuitalks.com and on Facebook, Ask Hillary Black. Just Google Hillary Black and for crying out loud, and you'll find it. And so let's go get Hillary. How the heck are you? How was your summer?
I'm good. Good summer. It was very hot today in California.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe you. I don't ever have to ask you guys, oh, really? How hot was it? You know what I mean? But if you guys ever say it's cold, I'm like, oh, yeah, how cold is it? Like, oh, it's like 60. I'm like, oh, you poor people, you popsicle people, you. And so anyway, but yeah, if it's hot, it's hot. I'm the other way around. I'm usually going, oh, my God, it's so hot. And people are like, that would be like a nice day somewhere in Florida or other places where it's extreme, like Arizona, and so I would probably die of heat exhaustion if I lived in a place like that. But so what's new? Anything to tell us?
Anything to tell you guys that are going on? I just finished a fair. Did a talk about actually the Clairs, which I don't know if I know I gave you a list of what I was talking about, and I've got to actually get that from you at the end of the show. So I talked about what did I talk about? Understanding the Clairs. So it's something certainly we can talk about on one of the shows as well. And what else do I have coming up? I'm just setting up some classes is what I'm doing. I haven't done workshops yet. But the class stuff is what I'm setting up right now. So that's what I'm doing, and just doing fairs.
Good.
And really getting into the coaching.
Oh, great. That's good. Good for you. So we have spiritual coaching and laws of success. So two kind of different things, but so we can clearly understand if somebody needs business coaching, what they're gonna get, or life skills coaching. So in what way is spiritual coaching being utilized?
A little different. So, I went to coach you. I actually went to school for coaching, and I actually went to school for corporate coaching, but yet I don't necessarily go into corporations. So, because I don't bring my tarot cards obviously into the corporate world. It was interesting. Spiritual coaching really has to do with helping people change their belief systems and in a positive direction, in the sense of it's a belief that no longer holds value for them, and it really holds them back. So it's a belief that doesn't serve them anymore. So it's your conscious mind says one thing and it has a goal, and your subconscious mind says another. And so when you set your goals out and you put it on a piece of paper, and then you don't know why you're obtaining it because you don't have alignment within self. And so what's happening is our head is what we think rules us, but it truly is our subconscious mind, which is our heart, which we call the little girl, the little boy. But it's our heart. So it's your conscious mind and your subconscious. And that's basically what I call spiritual coaching, in a sense, because that's what I do, is I help people who want to move forward and they're not in alignment. So I help them, help them identify what it is they want. I facilitate it. There's no right or wrong. It's what they choose in their life. And what they wanted at 20 is a little bit different at 30. A belief system they held when they were 10, and then they're 20, and then 30, it doesn't hold water or value for them anymore, and it's holding them back. So it's kind of like a Windows 8 computer. You can't take everything out on the Windows 8 computer; it will crash. So you have to take a little bit out at a time, and then bring in a new program or a new belief system in. It's kind of called reframing. So, needless to say, in business coaching, I went to coach you, and I went up to my teacher who was teaching us. It was a fast track program that I went through, and I was the only person in the room that didn't have a college education, although I've been to college. But I had my own business, so they let me in. And I really wanted to do the life coaching, to tell you the truth. And, of course, they didn't have it available. And I really enjoyed coaching because I had swam competitively from 6 years old to 16. So I've been coached my entire life. Well, not my entire life, but quite a bit. And as I've talked about before, I was 2 levels away from the Olympics and yada, yada, and all that other good stuff. But I swam competitively quite a bit. And so coaching just kind of came naturally to me. And so what I found is that as I was reading my clients, I would see future realities for them. but they didn't know how to manifest it. They didn't know what to do. And so they'd come back, and I'm like, did you do A, B, and C? And, I realized I started coming into the coaching component for my clients because I saw realities for them, but they didn't know how to manifest them. They didn't know what to do. So that's kind of how it gradually came in. So when I talked to my teacher and I said, do you guys believe in the spiritual stuff for psychics? She goes, nope. And I went, well, I'm not telling you who I am. So I kept my mouth shut. And so we did an exercise one time, and we were coaching it out the way we were taught to do it. And as we finished, I looked at her and I said, do you really want to talk about this? I said, let's get into it. You don't like this person, blah, 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 blah. And, this is what I intuitively, this is what I feel that you would like. And she's like, how the heck did you know that information? And I'm like, well, you want to talk about it or not? And she goes, no. I said, well, I guess you don't want resolution, do you? And she just looked at me. And that's when I realized that was the spiritual part coming in, because intuitively they were just channeling in all this information. Yeah. And she was doing it textbook, and I mean, I'm not saying that the coaching wasn't good. Coach Hugh is a premier coaching school. It's great, the things that they were teaching us. But I was taking that intuition and I was bringing it in, and I was channeling it with it. And so interesting, in the coaching school, with the regular coaching stuff, everybody was like flying through it, and I was like, hold on, guys, hold on, and I'm trying to catch up. And then the spiritual stuff, everybody was lost, and I'm like flying through the whole stuff. I'm like, yep, let's go. So that's kind of what happened.
So, and that's what holds a lot of people back, is these self-limiting beliefs and programming and things that we've accumulated into ourselves over all these years. And half the time we're really not, unless somebody points it out, it's just so ingrained in us that we don't even realize.
It's true. Very, very much so. And, it's interesting. I, listen to a lot of different things and read different things. And I came across, I can't remember what it was, and this gentleman had said, well, I don't behave that way. And I don't know what his profession was, but it was definitely in self-growth. And his wife goes, really? Why don't you go ahead and write everything down that you say for an entire day? And so he wrote everything down that he said an entire day, and he was really amazed the negative talk that he was talking, because a lot of people don't realize the power of words. The power of words, and there is something interesting. On somebody just sent this to me, and today we were talking about it, so you guys can actually look it up. And it's let me see, it's a YouTube video, and it's Water, Consciousness, and Intent by Dr. Masaru Emoto. M-A-S-A-R-U. I'm sorry, M-A-S-A-R-U, and then an Emoto, E-M-O-T-O. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, we've talked about it to death, but there's new listeners all the time, and so they should go and have, this is where you send, love, you take water and freeze it, I guess you froze it or something, and then send love and send hateful stuff or whatever to the other one, and they're beautiful, beautiful crystal images or whatever in the loved one, in the loved water, or ice or whatever, and all. Now, what I always temper that, that's good. I mean, that's not unlike the whole, speak nice to your plants and, love your plants and tell them how beautiful they are and everything like this in your plants first, that's not unlike that kind of a concept. And so, but, whenever I went and looked into it a few years back, because I always look at both sides, but there's always going to be, a component that disagrees with or is opposed to something that's being stated, right? And I have to bear and look at that as well. Not a lot of people, when they're looking at stuff, they only go and look for the stuff that supports their belief. You know what I mean? And they ignore the stuff that that is out there that would disprove it or whatever, right? And so I'm still unsure, but the criticism that I had heard about Emoto was really that he wasn't freely giving his work for peer review. And, so that's what was mostly lacking, in his whole presentation and theory. And either way, we know that with most living things, human beings and animals for sure, that, when they're maltreated, bad things happen, right?
True.
I mean,
yes.
They either become dysfunctional themselves, or they become as bad as the people that are, harming them. And so they become maltreaters as a result of their maltreatment. And I think I just made up a word, maltreaters. Anyway, they become bad people. And usually, somebody who is, especially in the formative years of life, somebody who's being given love and support and nurturing and all of this kind of stuff will tend to do better, and it's like if you're training a dog to do a trick, like if a dog pees on your carpet, the worst thing you can do is yell and scream and hit the dog. And so it makes some sense that if that you can make water healthier or better if you just simply do send love and work positive vibrations or whatever you would want to call it. I see no harm in doing that. You know what I mean? We also encourage people to, you set their water on purple plates, which can be gotten at
purpleplates.com. Yes, exactly. Is Corrine here today? She could talk about that, actually.
She is, and so, just like somebody who's going to, like you were in athletics, okay?
Yes.
I was in athletics, and like if you've got anybody around you that's going, you'll never be able to do that, and well, like that can get into your head. Now, isn't it interesting that there can be two people? Somebody's in their ear in both the cases saying, you can never be able to do that. You'll never be. And one person's response to that is, oh, yeah, watch me.
Right.
And the other person's response to that is to believe that and then therefore not succeed, even when they possibly could have, but for the negative, not incur discouragement, And So like for me, when I was young, I was a spiteful person, like meaning to say in a good way. If you're never going to be, I had nothing but negative parenting on me, And so there came a point in my life where I'm all like, yeah, watch me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And lots of times, like if somebody's trying to figure out a way to manipulate me, then they can do stuff like that, which is to say, wow, you'll never be able to do that. And I'll be like, oh, yeah? Like, that's more like a challenge to me. Whereas somebody else, it would be like a complete barrier for them to even try.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but in all cases, being supportive and nurturing to somebody or something, and we say everything's got living cells in it, even a piece of paper, a stone, everything has energy, right? And so therefore everything is alive in that way. And so, this is why people, they go, like when my car gets me to where I need it to get to me, because it's some miracle that it even does right now. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I pat the dash, I haven't gone to the extreme of naming my car, you know what I mean? But I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much, and I'm patting the dashboard, and so anyhow, I don't know, I'm just going on and on now. You talk, you're the guest.
No, I love to dialogue and interact with you, and listen to what you have to say. But I was going to say, like a child who goes to school, and you have two students, and one student is told by the teacher, you're never going to amount to, you'll never be able to do it. You won't amount to it, or you can't you can't reach that, or you're not smart enough. And then you have another student where they're just getting accolades and praise all the time, and, oh, you're just such a fabulous student, you're so smart. And these kids may have had the same, IQ and same aptitude, yet you find one child is excelling and exceeding, and the other child is not. And it's, a part of that, again, has to do with their thought process because of what they were told and the information that was brought into them. And what it is that so this child that's hearing that they're not going to, move forward, to them, that's their truth now. And that's not necessarily a truth that is true. I mean, truth is in the eye of the beholder. And it really is going in there and looking at where did this programming come in? Where did this thought pattern or process show up? And how did that person process it? That certainly isn't their truth, so that they have to recognize it, acknowledge it, recognize it, own it, that sort of thing, to even to release it and to let it go. And then put something then new that obviously is the new truth to move forward.
Right. You know yourself as a coach, as somebody that's been coached in different aspects. You know what I mean? Not just like life coaching or this kind of coaching or sports coaching, but whatever. Being trained on something or anything like that. I did have like a sort of train the trainer master instructor kind of training, you know what I mean? And which is to say that there's different styles of learning, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so the key to being a great coach or a great teacher is to understand that, number one, that all of your students will, and same with being a boss, the same thing's not going to motivate all of your people. So in some cases, threats will motivate somebody. Threat that they won't have their job no more. In other cases, it's not. And all that they need, and they will die for you, is just for you to tell them how good they are.
Right.
Or just as you're giving an assignment over to them, you're a superstar on this you're gonna take this and fly to the moon with it, and I totally trust you with this. People will generally rise to the lowest level of the expectation that's set out for them. And so if you set people's mindset like at a high goal, then they should achieve that. If you set the bar low, then they will achieve barely that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not in all cases, but because different things motivate different people. Similarly, as an athlete, a great coach will understand that the same pep talk isn't going to work for two different athletes. And, so the key really is to clearly be skilled at being able to figure out what's going to work for your particular client or your student or whatever it is you're doing. And I think that you got to start by all things positive, right? Start with the best way, the best model. But then if you start to notice, like for myself, for example, if somebody were to ask me, like, oh, well, list all of your achievements for me or whatever, I'd be like, I haven't really, you know what I mean? There's not really much to say. But if somebody was sitting there criticizing me, so I'm not going to talk myself up when I'm asked to. But if somebody starts, like, criticizing me and bashing me and saying how terrible and horrible I am or useless, all of a sudden my mind is engaged and it's like coming up with all of the miracles I've performed in my life, all of the heroic moments of my life, like how dare this person, say that. And so if I'm defending myself against criticism, then oftentimes stuff will come to my mind that I have done that has been notable. But if I'm just asked to come up with it on my own for no good reason kind of thing, even in a job interview, like I have a really hard time, with that, list your achievement, it's like my brain, it's like a writer's block happens or something then, you know what I mean? And, but if I back into a corner and somebody is like criticizing me, all of a sudden I can come up with a million things I've done. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
I do.
so we got to find the way that our people best respond. And even if you have to put them into a position where, but then you catch them, like, right? Like when they, like your person who's like all down on themselves or whatever, but then once you've like ignited that thing that will switch their brain into talking good about themselves, right? That's when you got to catch them out on it and say, see, now I shouldn't have to say something negative or something, you know, like that, like for you to be able to come up with this good stuff about yourself, right? And then that starts a process, hopefully, within the person that they, oh, hey, yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Why do I have to wait until I have negative circumstances put on me before I can shine brightly, or, you know?
So where I would go with that is say, were you ever allowed to say good things about yourself, or did you feel self-conscious when you did that? Did someone, when you started being proud about yourself or having a wonderful self-accomplishment, were you told that you weren't allowed to have that?
Right.
When you were younger?
Right, and whatever the cause is for each, because each unique person will have their own.
Absolutely. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own unique experience, and that's one of the things that when I do coaching, it's tailored to that person, and it's very different for each person. You know,
yeah.
we go back there and look at that, because if, you know, someone was to tell me what you just said, I would, you know, say, okay, well, let's go back there. And I do psychically go back to, it's remote. I use that remote viewing. So I remote view back into the timeline psychically to see where that programming came in, because sometimes I'll have someone say, yeah, I do remember this so-and-so said this to me, you know, when I was so proud and I came home and brought them an A, you know, kind of thing, and then they, you know, I brought a B and they said, well, couldn't you have done better, you know, kind of thing, or, you know, something like that. And so sometimes I just don't remember. So I'll go back in that timeline.
Yeah.
And then as I'm saying something, they'll say, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. You know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And it will come up. But one of the things that I want to, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So one of the things I wanted to mention, I did homeschool my kids when they were younger, and there are 5 different ways of learning, and I don't have it in front of me, but from what I can remember, you know, one of them is tactile learning, which is hands-on. The other one is auditory learning, which is listening. The other one is visual learning, which is your eyes, and I can't remember the other 2. But there are, and I also was a college admission rep, so you know, there's all different types. You know, some people really do excel online learning. Some people really need to be in the classroom, and that's just the right fit for them. And that's what this is really about. It's about learning who you are and what fills your cup. What are you about? What makes you happy? And honoring yourself. You know, and we all have our different lessons of what we need to learn. You know, some could be self-love, some can be, you know, empowerment. Some people could be, I'm trying to think of all the other lessons. There's just so many out there. Everyone is just different, again, on what type of lesson is for them. Yeah. Along their patterning of their childhood. But then there's also, too, not just, as you said, in business, but also in relationships. You know, Dr. Gary Chapman, I think is his last name, who has the 5 love languages, the five languages of love. I don't have the title exactly. And he talks about the different ways, too, that people want to receive love. You're smiling as I say that. Are you familiar with this book?
No, it was bad timing. I was looking at something Mary Margaret wrote in the chat room, and so right at that particular moment, and so that was good timing, though. No, you can know one thing about me. You'll never catch me reading a book about love. Never, ever, ever catch me reading a book about love. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Is Sandy still there? I just got distracted. You know how that happens, right, Hillary? Getting distracted by the chat room. So, but isn't it funny how there, like, these similar principles can be applied in all all these different areas, right? What are you doing? Uh-oh, she got frozen. Hillary, you're frozen. Oh, wait, are you muted? Hang on. Yeah, she did get frozen. Where's Hillary? Hillary. Hang on. Oh, she just went poof. And, yeah, hang on. Okay, Sandy. Sometimes your flash player might need to be updated, you know what I mean? Hillary, you're muted. So maybe your phone got muted or you need to call back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and play this song. The other day I just was finally opened up my music folder and just did a play all kind of deal. And so this song came up, and I love this song, but it's one of those songs that I never remember what it's called or who it's by. And so whenever I'm doing the show and I'm looking for a song, you know, it'd be one that I skip right by because it doesn't, you know. But now I'm reacquainted with it. I love this song for some reason. Maybe just the way it sounds. It's a short one though, under 4 minutes, and hopefully Hillary can get herself sorted out by then. And
Are you looking for a place to meet like-minded people? Perhaps you're a light worker looking for a safe place to share your thoughts and services. We've got a place for you, intuitalks.com. Join for free, post updates, blogs, create and join groups via website or radio or class package. The possibilities are endless. Join the all-spiritual, all-under-one-roof network,
www.intuitalks.com. All right, we're back. I'll do a quick shout-out. I see Hillary's gotten for, I think so. For a minute there were two Hillarys, and I was like, oh, there's two of her. Cell phone, Maryland, and they'll be our first caller up. Christy, who is there? Christy, can you let me know in the chat room if you're there for a reading? Christy, the CJ, is the artist who changed her name from Christy because there were way too many damn Christys around here. And Hillary is our guest. Dan, the man, the meat-smoking man. And Doreen is back. Nice to see you back, Doreen. Thank you very much. Diane in Canada. Mary Margaret, are you there for a reading, Mary Margaret, or are you just listening? Robert McNamara. It's a Robert night, so we have Robert McNamara and Robert Sharp, the host of Bite Radio Me. And whenever I first started seeing that show and listening to that show on Blog Talk Radio and all that, I thought it was Bite Me Radio. And so a lot of people do. And, okay, Christy, so you're down on the list. Very good. Sandy is there. Hi, Sandy. And Sherry and Corrine, Supernatural Radio, www.purpleplates.com. And there you go. So that's what's going on. Let's see. Let's mosey on over and get Hillary back. Are you back, Hillary?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, how are you?
Very good. It took me a minute to even realize you got frozen, and you got frozen with the. I should have took a screenshot actually at that moment when your webcam froze up, and it was just before the webcam dropped entirely, and so because you had a really awesome smile on your face at that moment, and.
You did too. You were laughing, and then we were talking, and you started laughing, and then boom, my electricity went on and off, flickered. And, you know, sometimes that happens in spirits here. It was really weird. It was you were laughing. The electricity started flickering in my house. And then all of a sudden you froze. And then the line went dead.
Wow. Isn't that funny? So, because you had said, you asked me if I read that book or whatever. And I said, no, I was at that moment I had been noticing something that was written in the chat room. And so it was just that timing that, of me smiling, I was smiling at that, and then I said, let me assure you, you'll never catch me reading a book about love.
I probably should not ask why, but that's okay.
I know everything there is to know about love. it just isn't it isn't a lifelong pursuit of mine like it is for so many people. And I'm not really a self-help book reader anyhow. I'm not really a reader. But a good true crime story might catch my attention every now and then.
Well, that's your interest, and that's where your interests lie. I mean, like you said, you don't always just look at, the positive or the for the reasoning of whatever it is. You always want to look at the other side too, and that's just the investigation part of yourself. I was surprised that you'd probably be a really good private eye, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Or have you ever thought of working in law enforcement or anything like that?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to, and then came the day I got busted for pot possession, and so there was
What did you say? That went out the window is what you said?
Yeah, that went out the window. That idea was long gone now. And in fact, I was, thinking about going down there to, because they're about to legalize pot in Canada, and I haven't smoked pot in a number of years. And setting up a reading list. Yeah, Doreen, you want to have a reading? Like you got, just get in the queue, okay? Get in the queue.
Just let you guys let you know, Chris. I don't have my computer up because when that light went on and off, everything just kind of my computer, everything, my Wi-Fi is off, so I got to figure it out.
No worries on me, but of course you have now a problem. You have like some power surges going on or something over there at your house right now.
Right, I do. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's either electricity or spirit's really strong tonight, and they're here.
We might find out as the rest of the evening unfolds. So Doreen, like what I'm asking you to do is either call in or enable your microphone. And that is what usually clues me in that somebody wants to get up and have a reading. So go ahead and do that. I think Robert McNamara is also. Thank you, Diane, for your help in the chat room, posting the number and the code that people have to push in once they connect up. And so then... people, private investigator, like I kind of am an amateur anyhow, and I have a good bullshit detector in addition to that, and so that's usually what triggers me on to the path of pursuing information to support my intuition regarding something. Yeah, I'm very, very keen on that, and of course, I had a quasi-judicial sort of background with myself as a union person and involved with lots of hearings where, testimony and evidence and all of that kind of stuff. And in a different lifetime, I may have been a lawyer, you know what I mean, and that kind of thing. So I'm really an advocate of people, though. Like I would never, I don't see how it would ever have been possible that I would be a prosecutor. So I'm all about helping the little guy or the people that are the victims of the abuse of power, and that's kind of that was, I think, my purpose in this lifetime. I think that because it just came innately to me, and I didn't even know about. I was kind of actually pissed off that I was working at a workplace where there was a union because it only went on seniority, and I'm all like, wow, you could be the biggest dog humper in the place, and you're gonna get the next promotion because you got more seniority, and that sucks. Like so I was very much on a merit base, like the hard worker, blah blah blah, and so. Anyways, one day somebody totally lectured me down. They undressed me, if you will, at coffee time when I made such a comment. And so then I went to a union meeting. Didn't even know the name of the union or anything. I'd never seen a collective agreement, and so I went to my first union meeting and I became elected as the president of my local. Some amazing things happened as a result of that, and for the people that I represented and for myself. And it was very much a win-win situation. But this is what I mean, which is to say that there's some hard set blueprint life path workplace things that happen, I believe. And for me, that was definitely one of them, you know. Like, no matter what, I was gonna land at that workplace, and that was gonna be what was gonna happen, you know. And it was quite a profound example of, you know, if you don't get to a place on your own, the universe will make events happen that will put you where you need to be at a precise moment in time, for something to happen. I believe that very much. It's happened to me, you know.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
and so
I do understand that, and it's also too certainly the vibration that you're within you, because everything outside of us is a reflection of our inner state. Our vibration matches that other person's vibration. But you're right. I mean, that's where synchronicity comes in. You know, it's like that person's like, I didn't plan it, or you know, I haven't done the steps yet, and it just showed up. Because it's the vibrational match within, and so you had that vibrational match within you. You had that feeling, that being, right? And you lined up with it. Yeah. And that's how it came into your sphere. That's how it came into your space. And a lot of times when people will find things that come in and they'll say, well, listen, this is not what I want. And this is Esther Hicks stuff, by the way. You know, this is not what I want. Then, you know, as Esther Hicks talks about, she's got these great cards called the vibrational cards. I don't know where they are. I may have them in the car. I don't know if they're relationship vibrational cards, but she talks about vibration. And it's like if things are coming in your sphere that you're not wanting, then it's just a reflection of, okay, you said you want this. Are you sure that you want that? And so is it helping you get clear on what you truly do want? And a lot of us get stuck in, well, everything's showing up that we don't want. It's just, I don't want to say a test, but it's like, are you sure you don't want that? Okay, so now get clear on what you do want. And so you were pretty clear in that core of, as you said, the justice, right? That was key for you.
The really funny thing that's hitting to me right now, too, justice has always been the core theme for me, very much so. And again, like I always say, like the good and the bad things that happen to us, like I really feel that there's a reason for that. And so it all set me up to be, and I was just realizing right now that before I got that job there, I remember, like, my mother was never very nice to me in the first place, but there was one summer where there was a meat packing plant strike here, or lockout, or what, I think strike. And, you know, my mother was all, well, you should go look for a job there. And I'm all like, I would rather die than go and steal a job, you know, be a scab and steal a job of a person that's out there doing, you know, demonstrating for their own rights and whatnot like this. And I didn't know about unions. I didn't know the protocol, crossing picket lines, all this kind of bull. But like, it was just in me. And so later on, you know, like it's like I wind up, you know, being this union rep and negotiator and all that kind of stuff. And I already had the core beliefs. I just didn't know it.
Right. Exactly.
But every little step. I mean, when I was a young kid, I would hang around at a store and make myself productive. You know what I mean? And it could be just because I got some pats on the back or some, you know, any kind of positive, you know, feedback, you know. So I was just helping. Like, and finally the guys like all, like I caught shoplifters there. Like I would just hang around, and oftentimes one of the owners would be doing an afternoon shift or something. I'd just be hanging around, and I'd be like, and even when I was a kid, I'm like, that car is going to take off. They're not going to pay for their gas. You know, and so, like, I would always have this ability to know, like, which ones were going to try and steal or which ones were going to try and take off. And so then I would just be doing things and helping around there. Finally, he's like, you know what, like, what, do you want to work here? Like, I'm only, like, 12 years old, if that. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, well, you know, we could pay you a little bit of money to wash the gas pumps and sweep the parking lot and mop the floors and sort the pop bottles and all that. So there's a guy, they hired this guy, and I might have been like 12, 13, and they hired this guy's 18, 19 kind of deal. And, so I get to know that guy because I'm working at that store. Many years later, I'm sitting there in a miserable job at Little Caesars Pizza, really angry at the employer there because they had just suspended me because they had sent one of these secret shoppers into my pizza shop. And, I had a bunch of high school kids that were working for me, on the nights and weekends. And so these kids were goofing off a little bit, having a bit of a water fight. And, I'm like, okay, guys, enough of that. Like, let's get back to work kind of thing, hey? But they suspended me for 3 days because I didn't fire those kids, right? And so I was really disgruntled at that. Like, of all things, like, that you're going to suspend me because I didn't fire these kids. And hypocrisy, because the first rule at Little Caesars was you must have fun. That's their first rule, besides getting to the phone before it rings the third time. And so basically, I had just gotten back from this 3-day suspension, and this guy walks into my pizza shop in the afternoon, says, "Oh, you should go and apply out at the hospital. They're hiring summer relief." And poof, I went exactly opposite to what I would do because it was just going to be summer relief and no guarantee of hours or anything. Just to call in if someone called in sick or something, or someone went on vacation. And so I would be leaving a guaranteed paycheck for who knows and no benefits. But I did anyway because I was mad at that moment in time at this employer that would want me to fire some kids because they were being kids, And so, but that moment, that guy walking into my pizza shop at that moment changed the whole rest of my life, And I wouldn't have known him if, when I was a young kid, I wouldn't have been working at that store. And so, are you still with me, Hillary? I think Hillary's gone again. Hillary's gone. Oh, just in time for when... Oh, she's back. Hang on, let me get rid of the other one. The imposter, Hillary. There you are. Are you back?
Hi. Yes.
Okay. All right. So listen, I just was telling this big, long, winding story, which is fine because, but now it's time, like, if you're ready, there's so many people that are getting into queue.
Maybe happy to do readings. Yes, okay. Absolutely.
We'll shift over to doing that, and, like I have written down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about six, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 now. Somebody gave up on, no, there's 6, 7, maybe even more. So let's get to it. Let's go find out who the mystery person is at Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Hello, I'm not a mystery caller. You know me as Lauren. Hey.
Hey, how you doing, Lauren? What's up?
I'm not too bad. Finally moved out of the house.
Oh, good. I think that's good. I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah, that is good in ways.
Good. Let's just go with good then. So, do you have a question for Hillary?
Sure, I guess my question is, will I meet someone, I guess, brand new anytime soon? That's basically it, because I'm going to have all the rest of stuff, but...
Okay, so you want to know if you're going to meet somebody new? So let me go ahead and ground, so I'll ground for everybody. So, dear Lord, please help me find the truth and the wisdom that the callers online are seeking through, Lord. Please keep this text up, no spirits, entities jump in. Please allow my clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, psychic, and intuitive abilities, any other gifts come in and channel through the tarot cards as well as pendulum, and accompany them. Let me listen to you, Lord. Spirit guides, angels, all be guided by you. Connect to higher source. Connect down to Mother Earth. Amen. Okay. So I keep getting the number 2 and 3. I got that before I grounded, but I wanted to make sure I was grounded. So let's see if Lauren is going to meet anyone and any romantic partner is going to come up for her. Correct?
It doesn't have to be romantic, just somebody new in general.
Oh, well, okay. I do feel that a new partner is going to be coming in, or just a friend is what you're saying, a companion? Right? Just a new friend? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yes, and so they're telling me I see the next 2 to 3 months. But what they're saying to me is that you need to be very clear on what you need in a friend and what you're looking for people to come in. Because I feel like there have been people who have taken advantage of you in the past. Is that true?
I mean, taking advantage. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, okay, some of the people I've been hanging out with, I wouldn't say that they're criminals, or sometimes they can be less than stellar, but then again, so can I.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're criminals, not at all. What I'm saying, though, is sometimes people don't appreciate you, is what I'm saying. Or because you're going through a big shift, is what they're telling me. And you're going through a shift of wanting to have people around you who value you and who really are not just there for themselves, but they're there for you too. Because you do a lot of things for your friends, is what they're telling me. Does that make sense?
I mean, I'm staying with somebody now, but I'm trying, she's helping me out with the whole temporary move thing for now. But I mean, sometimes some of the stuff she says is kind of very blunt and a bit rude, but I mean, then again, I come off rude too sometimes, so who knows?
Right. But what it is setting the intent of what type of friends you want to bring to you. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because we're happy. Sometimes we're happy just to get whatever it is that we get, but it's also kind of like you're the captain of your own boat, and so it's creating like a dream board. I want to go on travel, and I want to go here, and I want to go, and, I've never seen the beach before, and I want to go see the beach. It's creating the life and drawing the people to you that you want to draw to you. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. So, yes, I do see some people coming in your life. Yes, and they told me number 2 to 3.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, and so let's go and get... Okay, so Maryland is done, and that's Lauren. Let's go get... Who are you? Hello, Christy.
Hey, Chris and Hillary. How are y'all tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay.
How about you?
I've made Chris really work this evening. I'm sorry. Okay. What would you like to know, my dear?
Well, actually, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind having a general reading.
Sure. And it's Christine, right?
Christy.
Christy. Okay. So let's do a general reading for Christy. Let's see a general reading for Christy. Let's see. 1, 2. So, Christy, what they're showing me, because I'm clairvoyant, as you guys know, the Clairs, and they're showing me this place in Denver, Colorado that I knew of, and is coming out of the city and kind of going into the country. So I don't know if you're wanting to have a little bit more rest and peace, is what they're showing me. I wouldn't say particularly that you live in the country. I don't think you do. Is that true?
True, I don't live in the country, but I do like my peace and quiet.
Right, and they're telling me that you're wanting to go into that space of peace and quiet. So if you don't have a place in your home that's kind of your sanctuary, because I feel like you're wanting to create some sanctuary in your home. I feel like if you're not busy, you're going to be quite busy soon, if you aren't already. And they're also telling me, too, organization is going to be key for you. I am intuitively getting this, but I also have the Emperor card upside down in the future. And so I just see you right next to the front door, and I see you having the mail and the keys. And I don't know if you have a dog. I don't know why I see a dog. You probably don't have a dog, but for some reason there's a dog there. Do you have a dog?
No, I don't.
Mm-hmm. So you're not thinking of getting an animal, correct?
Correct.
Okay. But it's just the energy. It's just chaotic. Do you know what I mean? So they're just telling me, because it's like you sometimes you sit and say, I have nothing to do, and you have a ton of things to do. And then all of a sudden, when you think about what you have to do, you just don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's getting organized. And so it's just kind of getting focused and organized. I know that, you want to have some freedom, and part of you doesn't want to be on a schedule all the time. And it's kind of like, what you're going to eat for the next 30 days is not fun. You're like, where's my fun? So you can throw that in there, but they're just saying organize a little bit, like, have a mail center next to the front door and where a place that you can hang your keys or the key bowl, and then also, kind of a filing system for yourself. And when you want to go ahead and file your paperwork, you don't have to adhere to the schedule. Like, I don't want to file today, I'm going to do something else, but you've got to make time for it, because for you to get to that next step for yourself and for you to grow, they're saying that foundation, to lay that foundation is really important to you, because if you don't do that and then you start growing, it's just, you're going to slide back. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Are you thinking about school or anything like that, or something new?
Something new, yeah, but not necessarily school.
Okay, because they're showing me something new. What is that in regards to? Because they're not showing me what it is. They're showing me school or something new.
I don't have any official plans on anything new, but I would be open to something new.
Okay, but are we talking about career? Are we talking about, I get that you just want a whole change in your life is what they're telling me. Does that make sense? There's certain things of your life that you really do like, but I really feel like you're wanting to have a little bit more fun. You're wanting to incorporate new things in your life. You're wanting to try new things like a cooking class or just something like that. Candle making, I'm not quite sure what it is, but that's what they're telling me.
Yeah, I would like to take up some type of hobby, something that I've never done, but might have been interested in checking out when I was younger, but didn't do it.
This is a great time for you to do it. But they're saying lay down that foundation. It may take, it could take you 2 days, it could take you 2 weeks, but just get your place in order for yourself, for some organization, so that you can add more to your plate, so you can have more fun. Because lately you've just been working, coming home, and there hasn't been any fun lately.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
They're right.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to know today?
Are you picking up anything on a special project at work?
No, but I can look at it. Hold on just a minute.
Okay.
You're just telling me about your life. See the special project at work. Show me the special project at Christy's, please. They're saying that this special project at work is very, very hush-hush. Is that true?
True.
Yeah. The words they used was top secret. That's what they said to me. And it is a transformation, but I don't know if everybody's on board. And the reason why I say that is the Two of Wands is upside down in the 7th position. So I don't know if there's going to be movement right now, and I'm getting pains in my chest. So there's some disagreements. But they are really trying to move forward, and they're trying to look at some costs, and they're trying to look at timelines is what they're showing me. So if things aren't moving forward, that's one of the reasons why, okay, now the pain's going away in my chest. So, and, obviously this is for the betterment of the company and for everybody there. I mean, they really are trying to make some system changes is what they're saying. Is that true?
True. Yeah.
Yep. That's what's going on.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thanks, Christy. Good luck, eh?
Thank you, Chris.
All right. Take it easy.
You too.
All right. Okay, so that's Christy. So we're going to go next. Sandy, then Doreen. Let me find Sandy. There's Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Hillary.
Hi, Sandy. How you doing?
I'm good.
And what would
I don't. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't. I guess the only question I have, I can take a general reading. I've lost a lot of significant people this year, close family, and just wanted to see if general reading, if anybody's out there.
Okay, so you want a mediumship reading. So let me do a general reading first, and then I'll see if anyone comes through. The mediumship for reading for me, it just really depends.
Okay.
When I, make a call to the other side, it really depends if anyone shows up. And, I mean, people usually do, but it really depends, too. It's sometimes it takes a little bit more time to make that connection. So, usually 1 to 2 minutes is really rough to bring something in, but we'll see. All right, so show me general reading for Miss Sandy. Show me general reading for Miss Sandy. Did you have a mother that passed, or a female?
No.
Well, of course, no female.
Well, there was, but it was a counterpart, my sister-in-law.
It was your sister-in-law?
Yeah, she was actually younger than me.
Okay, because it said I saw a female. And I didn't. Does the sister-in-law have children? Because I heard the word no. Whoever this person is that came through.
Yes.
She did have children. Okay, this is not the sister-in-law then, because the woman who's coming through is saying no. Does not have children.
I don't have any females that don't have children. I'm the only one that doesn't have children.
Okay, let's do the general reading first, and let's see if you can give me a name of who you want to connect to, and then I'll see if I can connect to that person. So, because normally that's something that I have to usually do, and a little differently. Okay, no problem. So, what's going on for you right now is what they're telling me is just really coming to a place of, it's like self-love. And self-care is really important right now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I have to worry about me.
Pardon?
Yes, I have to worry about me right now.
Right. You've got a lot of projects that are going on right now, but you're also changing your attitude and your mindset is what they're saying to me. You've really worked through the sadness and the loss that you've had with the loved ones that have passed away. You're really questioning your truth and what your truth is, but you're also looking at what the illusions are in your life, and where do you want to head? Where do you want to go? What do you want to create in your life? Where do you want to daydream and manifest that into a reality? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You're also looking at work, too. I hear the word job promotion, so I don't know if that's something that you're interested in. Is it something you want? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I've been working my way up over the last few years.
Yep, that's what they're telling me. And you're quite good at what you do. And I really feel that you're going to grow up the ladder is what they're showing me. I also feel like you're setting some boundaries, and I feel like you've gone through some frustrations. There was some, I don't want to say financial worries, but you were looking at your money previously in the past is what they're showing me. And now I feel like you're looking at your inner circle as well as your outer circle for friendships. And in regards to, are these friends really of my highest good and for my highest purpose, and am I of their highest good, their highest purpose? And if they're not, I really just don't want them. I don't want to say you don't want them here, but it's you really want people in your life that it's a beneficial situation for both, and you're of each other's highest good. Is that correct?
Yeah, just tired of taking care of everybody else.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what they're showing me right now. Let's see what else I've got. And just looking toward your financial future, you're really just, setting down the foundation. You're really ready for change. I heard the word move. I don't have a move card here, but the word is move. So it's either movement within your life and not a physical move, but I also do feel like home decorating. I don't know why they're saying that, but they're saying that you want to do some home decorating. You're going to do some purging in your house. The Queen of Cups is upside down right next to the Four of Wands, and what they're telling me is you're going to start purging some stuff from your childhood, or reorganizing some boxes, and you haven't allowed yourself to completely grieve yet and cry in certain situations because you've had to stop and take care of business. And yeah, and so that's okay, because when we touch an item, a lot of people will say, well, it's just a paper, it's just this, and they don't understand that there's an emotional attachment to it. And it's not about the physical item or the piece of paper. It's about what the emotion is attached to it. And then all of a sudden we start crying, and they're like, what's wrong with this person? It's just paper, and it's not that about it at all. It's about the emotion that you're going through. And allowing yourself to feel that feeling and feel those emotions so they don't get stuck.
Yeah, okay? That's very true. It's very raw. My brother just passed away 4 weeks ago, so not even 4 weeks. So, yeah, it's very raw, and I still have things that I'm not. like a can of beer in the refrigerator that he left when he visited a week before, and it's going to stay there. So those type of things, that's really true.
I understand. I do. So who is it you would like to connect to?
If there's anybody, I don't know if my brother's ready or if my sister-in-law's ready. It's only been 5 months for her, and a half weeks for him. So that might be too long.
Well, it depends. It depends. Do you have first names for either of them?
Yes. Do you want them?
Yes.
Oh, Justine or Kirk?
Justine, and the other one is who?
Kirk. K-I-R-K.
Brooke?
No, Kirk. K-I-R-K.
Kirk. Okay. What did you say, Chris?
Yeah, like Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Got it. Okay. Let me see if I can connect to these two. Justine and Captain Kirk. I'm sorry, Kirk. Your brother was really funny. Is that correct? He had a sense of humor?
Yes.
Yeah, because when I said Captain Kirk, I just heard this laughing. So, okay. And there was something about his head. My head is starting to hurt. Is there anything that happened to his head?
No. Do you want me to tell you?
Well, let me see what else I can get. Hold on just a moment. Something about trucks. Did he like trucks? Did he like to go out? I don't know if it's about buying or, going out and just go ahead.
No, it's about it. No, it would probably be his truck is a big thing. His pickup truck that he drove all over the United States.
Yeah, because he said something about a truck. He was showing me this big truck.
Yeah, it could have been my dad. His name was Kirk too, and he drove a tractor trailer.
I didn't see the tractor trailer. I saw a truck, a big truck.
A pickup truck.
Pickup truck. That's what I saw.
That's him.
Yeah, I didn't see a tractor trailer. They showed me. He showed me a pickup truck. Let's see what else I can get. He was a really, really good-hearted guy, like super sweet guy. Super sweet guy. And he was a good-looking man, but the women, because he was such a good-looking guy, and in the sense of, how should I put this, he was such a sweet guy, it's just, for some reason, he didn't always, I don't know why he didn't always attract the nicest girls. Is that true?
I think he just attracted all kinds of girls, but just the bad ones were always attracted to him. But he was married.
Okay. Yeah. I hadn't gotten there yet, but that's kind of what he was showing me. He's leaning against his pickup truck, and I don't know if he wore jeans, but this is what he's showing me, jeans, and I just feel the energy of him because I'm not completely seeing him. And the energy is just, he's such a kind and gentle-hearted man, but there was a line of women. He was showing me a line of women. And then he was, this girl's really nice, but, they didn't really necessarily connect. And then this one is like, like you said, sometimes not the nice girls were attracted to him as well. But he definitely had a line of women. That's what they were showing me. And that's what he showed me, actually.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah, he was, very much. So I don't know how old he was. I just see they say 40s, late 30s, early 40s, and then they said he was taken too soon, and then my chest is really starting to hurt, my right side on my chest.
He was 56 and he had a massive heart attack.
Okay. I don't know why I got the 30s and the 40s, but my chest was really starting to hurt. So what happened when his late 30s and early 40s?
Probably when he might have started to have problems with his heart, and he just, over the years, I guess it just weakened.
Okay. And how old was he when he passed?
56.
56. He did worry a lot, is what I'm hearing. And did he have high blood pressure?
Oh, massive high blood pressure.
Yeah, that's why I got the headaches. Because he's telling me he had a lot of headaches. I don't know if he said that, but it's like he worried a lot, because he just was, he wanted to take care of his, family, his wife. He wanted to take care of everyone. Then my head's starting to hurt again. So he's showing me a birthday cake. Yeah, he's here. He's showing me a birthday cake with like a cream, like a vanilla icing. I don't know why. Did he have children? Because I feel like it's a child's birthday cake.
One son in his 30s and his grandchildren, but I don't know that the girls in his aren't yet. I don't know of anybody's birthday that's coming up.
I don't know why he's showing it to me either.
Yeah.
Well, what he's saying to me is celebrate his life. I know that, the fact of the sadness that he's gone, but remember him in celebration of the good times that you guys had.
That would be him.
That's what he's showing me. That's what he's saying.
Awesome.
Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think he wants you to drink that beer. I really do. And
you know what, Chris? You're probably right. He's probably saying that. Just drink the damn thing.
No, and for two reasons. It tag teams to the, to have a drink on him kind of thing, and remember some good things and some good times to do that.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's just going to be so heavy on your heart to see that beer there every damn day.
Yeah, that's true, and I probably will. Actually, I'll probably let my mom drink it.
Somebody needs to drink the damn beer.
Well, you guys can share it. You guys can share it.
You know what?
Right.
You're right. When my mom comes over next time, we'll share it and we'll drink the damn thing. You're right, Chris, because it is going to hurt every time I look at it. Good advice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
have a good night. I'll keep listening.
You too. Thank you.
That's a bummer. Sorry to hear that. Let's go get, it's Doreen's turn. Hi, Doreen.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Doreen. How are you doing?
Your volume's way too loud, Doreen.
Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Good. Go ahead then.
I would just like to have a general reading, please.
Okay, let's do that. Let's see. Let's get a reading for Doreen. General reading. Interesting. So they're showing me a castle for you, my dear. And why are they saying this? They're saying, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let your hair down. And it's like you're in the castle, and you have to let your hair down. But, of course, this is the clairvoyant thing that they're showing me. And it's like you've been so stressed out is what they're telling me. It's let your hair down. Is that correct?
I'm always stressed. My life is stress everywhere I turn, so it doesn't really change any.
Okay, well, they're saying have some fun and let your hair down because you're always so concerned and you always do the right thing. I'm not saying for you not to. What they're saying is go have some fun. And, when they showed me this castle, I felt like, okay, maybe you're being whisked away to the castle, but then they showed me Rapunzel inside the castle, and it's like you have it all on your own shoulders. It's like you're the person who fixes everything. Is that true?
Very true.
You're the fixer. And so everyone's coming to you, and then it's just like everyone else is out to play, and you're just, left behind fixing everything and holding the fort down.
Oh, yeah.
So it's about taking some time for you and allowing yourself to say, hey, somebody else is going to come and help with coverage as well, and you guys all take turns. I mean, you're very good at what you do. It's not that you aren't. And I feel like you're in leadership. Are you in leadership?
Yes.
So it's tough because you're in leadership. So it's not like you've got anyone who can come and cover you and cross-train. Right? It's all on you. You're pulling a lot of hours. I mean, I'm hearing 60, 70 hours a week. You could even go to 80. Is that true?
Between work and my own business, yes.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh, honey. You're just like burning the candle at both ends. So they're saying, come and get some help. I don't know if it's in the budget to get a maid, kind of thing? Because I feel like you're just like, oh, forget it. I can't even deal with my house right now.
That's kind of true. No budget for the maid, but I'm at the end of a season where I get to take some time off and clean house and get things in order for the winter.
Okay. That's good. And so you don't have any, are you a one-man show on your business? Because I hear the word yes, and if not, you do have other people there, but you feel like a one-man show.
One-man show.
Okay. So I feel like your goal is to obviously hire some people and have 2 or 3 people in your company. Is that true?
My goal is to expand a little bit and take a little bit more control of quality and okay, so I make jewelry and I use stones to make the jewelry, and I want to create the shapes and polishing of my own stones.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get my boyfriend involved in doing it also, so I can keep creating the jewelry while he does the stones.
Mm-hmm. He's interested. That's what they're telling me. He's interested. I mean, you guys have to fine-tune your plan a little bit more is what they're telling me. I think you guys could work really well together.
We usually do, as long as, I get my way and he gets his.
And compromise with love, kind of thing. So he really wants to. I feel like you want to take it to that next step, and not. I feel like this really started as a hobby and something that you really enjoyed doing. I felt that it really relieved some of the stress, and it just gave you a lot of joy. Is that correct?
Yes.
And now you're realizing, hey, I really can turn this into a business. I really want to do this.
I've had the business for about 8 years, and I just feel I need to expand a little bit more and do the whole process.
I agree. That's what they're showing me. So, I mean, I see you selling, I don't know if you're selling on Etsy or where you're selling, and I see a website, but like you said, it's more about the production part, too, of, how do you do the quality and tumble the stones. I guess your boyfriend would tumble the stones. And then I also see you partnering with other people as well. Is what they're showing me, and getting your resources in place and your vendors in place. I
kind of do that already. I get all my stones through other people, but there's times I just really want to have a specific shape and the specific stone, and it's just not out there.
Well, I do think that you and your boyfriend will be doing that together. So they're telling me that, if you had... in the perfect world where there wasn't, you didn't have to worry about money, you would do this full time.
Yes.
That's what they're showing me.
Yeah, now it's just coming up with the money to get the machinery to do the stones myself.
Right, and that's where I get the the Ace of Pentacles in the 7th position. So, I don't know how long that's going to take. Timing is subjective. It goes forward or backwards. I'm hearing the number 3. I think it's 3 months is what they're telling me. It is a chunk of change is what they're saying.
Yes.
Like in the thousands.
Like in the 3,000.
Yeah. Well, that's the number 3. There you go. 1,000. There you go. Okay. So what else would you like to know?
That's really about it. I mean, if there's nothing else out there, I know that you said you don't grab hold of mediumship as much because it takes more out of you and more energy, so I'm not going to ask for that part of it. So I'll let it go at that, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Well, they're telling me I need to talk about it. So what is it? Who do you want to connect to?
I didn't connect well with my father in life, and I was just wondering if he was connected on the other side. If the issues that we had are over with.
What's your father's name?
Doug.
Okay, because what I'm getting is from Spirit Guide. I haven't connected with him quite yet, but what they're saying to me is because I asked what the Two of Wands was upside down, and there's a Three of Swords here, which is the heartache, and so what they're telling me is that you're going to go through and the healing process, but what I've been told is that your father is around you all the time. And he's saying he's sorry, and he wants to make it up to you. It's basically what they're saying. It's like for all the things he didn't do while he was here on this earth plane, he now wants to do for you on the other side. You can speak to him at night, just to let you know, or during the day. You just bring him up in your mind's eye. I call it a soul-to-soul conversation. When I was younger, I didn't know the protocol. So you're supposed to bring your spiritual angels and have your spiritual angels talk to their spiritual angels, and I just bring them up in my mind's eye, and I just talk to them. And what I would suggest is that you do it prior to going to sleep, just before you go to sleep. So in your subconscious, he will come in your dreams, and that's the easiest way for a spirit to come in your dreams, and it's your subconscious mind to talk to you. So then that way you could directly talk to him.
Okay.
Okay. He says he knows that he didn't do the best job, and he's showing me a couple things. Something about stability, and did he drink?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because he showed me him drinking like he was tumbling, like he had a very difficult time walking the line, so to speak. He was showing that, and that's why I said stability, but then I was looking at, did he drink? And he apologizes to you for that. He said the word profusely.
Oh, yes.
He knows that that's not going to take away the pain and the heartache, but he wants to right that wrong and be the father to you that he never was here on this earth plane by you having that connection with him on the other side. And he will be, because our loved ones that have passed away can be one of our guardians. And he's gonna do that for you if you allow him to.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what he's telling me. I hear you. You're saying to me he's not going to get off the hook that easily. And he's saying, I hear you.
It's kind of hard because he was really never there in my life. He was not present. From the time I was a child, my parents divorced when I was a baby. So I never really got to even know him until my sister had a child, and then he was in her life, but not in mine. And every time I tried to talk when he was in the room, he kind of looked away and didn't want to hear it. So it was really difficult while he was alive for me to be a part of his life.
Right, and I'm getting chills. It's because he wasn't ready to look at himself. This has nothing to do with you. And so I can understand why you would take it upon yourself to say, why? Okay, I understand that. He's telling me that you were a mirror for him, and what do I mean by that is that when you spoke to him, there's things that he saw within himself, and then he would realize that he would have to acknowledge those things and deal with it, and he couldn't do it.
I understand that. My hands are exactly like his, and my mannerisms, and I drank the same exact alcohol that he did. And nobody else in our family does. So, I mean, I was very much like him. I followed kind of right behind him. But I decided that alcohol is not the way to go, and he did not.
Yeah. And he does regret, the decisions that he made, and he wished that he had made that connection and was able to work through his issues so that he could have a relationship with you, but they were his issues.
Right.
And, of course, as children, what happens is we take that and we process it, right, into something that we feel is our truth, but it really isn't the truth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Even though we acknowledge our part, but the point is that he's saying this has nothing to do with you. This is all him.
Right.
So he doesn't want you to take on that burden or that responsibility for something that wasn't your fault.
Thank you.
I'm truly sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They told me I had to, I couldn't let you get off the phone. And I had to, whatever you needed to bring that person through.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Doris. You take care. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in again. Let's go get Robert. Hi, Robert.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What would you like to know tonight?
Oh, just kind of a general reading, I guess.
Okay.
Because about where I'm going in life and my job.
Okay. Give me a general reading for Robert. Go ahead.
I'm her other half.
Of Doreen's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Show me what's going on with.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Was that Chris who was talking?
Yep.
Yeah. I said I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm her other half.
Well, nice to meet ya.
Thank you.
So, I really feel, Robert, that you're really ready to make some changes in your employment, and
God, yes.
And I feel like I'm not quite sure if this is the right timing, but I feel like you would love to be self-employed, or certainly to be in a position where you're not feeling shackled and told what to do.
Yes, I'm looking for retirement.
Mhm. So, I don't. Is retirement in about 5 years sound about right? If you guys sit down and do your finances.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I want to go down to part-time next year and get start my Social Security.
Okay. So they're telling me retirement in 5 years is what they're saying. Now, that reality can shift to change because you have free will. So you can make that choice. But they're telling me it's important that you two sit down and look at your finances. Because your Four of Pentacles is upside down and I can hear it. And so they're just telling me, sit down and, whether you, financial advisor, whoever it is that you guys choose to go to, and there's many that you can, check out probably 3, whatever ones you feel comfortable with that can help you do that long-term planning for your future.
Yeah, I have her. Her name's Doreen.
Oh, there you go. So you guys can sit down and figure that out. But I do feel that you may do a side job. I know that you're saying that you want to retire, but it's like a hobby that you've made into a profession. Wait a minute. I just talked to Irene about jewelry, right?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Never mind. There it is. I'm like, what am I talking about?
I have another side job.
Oh, you do?
My car.
Your car, okay, because they're telling me there's a side business here. So is that the side business here we're talking about? You do cars as well?
Yeah, I inherited. Well, I didn't inherit, but I have my brother's Corvette.
Okay, and so are you wanting to make a business of it, or what is it that you want to do with it?
No, I take it to car shows. I show it off.
Oh, do you make money from that or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it costs money to do this.
Oh, it's an expensive hobby. So you may want to find a way to pay for that hobby, is what they're telling me. It's the Knight of Pentacles here, and so I don't know how that you would actually make money from doing that, but that's something that you can investigate at the car shows, that sort of thing. Yeah. But that's what they're showing me. And the business, you're just looking for some new adventure. You're pretty when you commit to something, you follow through with it, and that's what they're showing me. And I really feel like you and Doreen have a really, really strong friendship and a strong bond. I mean, there's a love there too. It's not that there isn't a love, but there really is. I mean, but you guys have a really good basis of a friendship and a best friendship. That's what they're telling me.
It has to be because I met her online.
Well, that's the way to do it. There you go. So it's you guys have a good friendship. There's something here. Are you letting something go? There's a loss here. I don't know what it is, but it's a positive. Even though a lot of times when we go through loss, it's not always positive, but there's new positive things coming in for you.
I'm not sure on that one.
I don't either. Something you're letting go. And again, you're starting, it's like you don't like traditional school is what they're telling me, but you're really,
Nope.
You're really avid in learning new things, and you're very tactile and very hands-on is what they're showing me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learn better hands-on than I would you telling me or trying to learn it.
Right. So, certainly I think you guys will have a lot of fun doing the jewelry and the tumbling of the jewelry and of the stones. And then certainly you can, check out, you may not necessarily, even though you have the Corvette and you're showing it and it costs some money, I do see another side business is what they're showing me, or this business with Doreen is going to go. And sometimes you can have branches of a business branch off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, like she said, we need the money to get up the machines that we need to do it, and then once that's there, who knows?
Right. But I feel like she may have a couple jewelry lines. She may have a line for women, and she may have a line for men, and you guys may have something else. And I feel like you're going to be a part of that too. Is what they're showing me. Like,
oh, okay.
Right. That it's a baby of yours. It's something. Yeah. It birthed from you. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
From your creative, and she's got her creative, line, and then you've got a creative line.
Yeah, she's really good at what she does. She's awesome.
Well, that is wonderful that you support her and that you guys can work so well together, and you see the beauty and the creativity.
Oh, yes, I do.
And you're her cheerleader.
Yep. Number one.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, sir,
for
giving me a call. Thank you, Doreen,
too. Blessings to you. You have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, Robert.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Thank you, Chris.
You bet you. Take it easy. Now, who's North Carolina? Hi, North Carolina.
Hello?
Hello, who's that? Hello, North Carolina. Hey, I hear you. You said hello. Who are you? Caller.
Hey, Chris.
Who's that? Oh, it's Robert. How are you, Robert?
I'm good. I was just listening on here because the computer time was breaking up. So.
Okay. I gotcha. How's things? I got no more callers anyway. Everybody, this is Robert Sharp. He's the host of Byte Radio, me on Blog Talk Radio. What time are you running these days, Robert?
Oh, still primarily about 4 p.m. Eastern time, mostly.
Mostly Monday. Are you doing five a week, or what are you doing now?
Nope. Now I'm doing 3. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Robert gets really great guests on his show, and he's not nearly as lazy as I am in terms of
What's the show again? What's the name of the show?
Byte Radio Me.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Byte Radio.
B-I-T-E, me? Byte Radio, me?
Yeah.
Right. Byte is an acronym, Hillary, for bringing inspiration to Earth.
Oh, I like it. That's wonderful.
It's not Byte. One time I had Robert on my show, though, and so you know how they say you have to have a great title to grab attention. So we called that one Curious Times, Byte Me.
Oh, that's funny.
And so Robert has all kinds of amazing guests on, and very, very interesting stuff, and so covering so many different areas of interest. And so do you remember that quantum physicist you had on your show, Robert? And we talked, and then the question came up about free will.
Yeah, that was Amit Goswami.
Yeah, I'm all like, see, like this person's saying what I've been saying all along, and nobody ever listens to me.
I know.
Well, they are now, and so that's interesting. What did he say about free will?
Well, yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, I was just going to say, there's a, you have free will to a degree. You know, it's kind of like it's like if you're in a car, you know, you're more likely to be the child in the back seat, in the car seat, rather than the driver of the car. You know, the car is going to go, and you can be in the back there and pretend you're steering, and if you're steering the same way the car is going, you're right on track. But you know, it's one of those things where, I mean, you know, if we had complete free will, then a lot of the things that we would, you know, a lot of our choices and decisions that we made would come true. You know, all of our desires and all those kinds of things. But if it's not in the cards, so to speak, if it's not our destiny, if it's not, you know, it's supposed to be part of our plan, then no matter how many decisions we make to try to force that, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
yeah.
Right.
But, so it's just like, because I've always said, because I get so tired of, in the spiritual community, people, well, you have your free will, and I'm all like, oh, I hate that when people say that. It drives me crazy. And yes, there's a certain amount of free will. But, you know, I think there's some stuff, A, that we don't have free will over at all, but B, that I think we have some hardwired things that will happen and must happen in our blueprint. And then the free will part is all the stuff in between, that's important stuff. Like, do I stop for coffee on my way to work or not? Like, I have to get to work. Now, do I stop for a coffee or don't I? And that's kind of like the little stopovers on the way to the critical life path points, or whatever in our blueprint. It was nice.
You know, if you have the belief that when we come into this incarnation that we kind of have a plan already set out, a blueprint and certain critical things, you know, critical points in life that we're, you know, set to experience, then when you recognize that, then you know, all of the circumstances are going to line up for you to experience that, and those aren't really guided by free will.
Mhm. That makes sense. I mean, you know, someone explained to me, it's like we're like spiritual beings, obviously. You know, we're here, spiritual beings having the human experience, and we're up there before we get down here, and we say, we want to sign up for this class, and we want to sign up for this class, and Earth is kind of like college. And we're like, you know, are you sure you want to take that on? You sure you want to learn it? Yeah, I want to learn it. And then we get down to this Earth plane, and we're like, you know, I really want to drop this class. And they're like, no, you don't get to drop it. If you drop it, you're staying in this class because you need this class to get the next class, or you're going to get an F kind of thing. And so that's one of the ways that someone had explained to me about the blueprinting in this sense. You know, and I had looked at that for many years and was on the fence about how I felt about it because, you know, being a psychic was not my first choice as a profession. And when I was in second grade, I wanted to be a nurse. And I've done many things trying to be a nurse. I used to be a certified phlebotomist, and I was a unit clerk, and I went to school for I did many things. And so the thing is that every time I tried to get into nursing school, the door just got shut in my face. You know, every which way. I turned left, I turned right, I went around, and, you know, I did everything that I could, and it's just the universe kept putting me back in this direction. Every time I walked away from being a spiritual reader, I just got pulled back in. So, you know, I do believe in the sense of the power of thought. You know, someone had said to me, and I was listening to, well, not someone said to me, I was listening to something about Anthony Robbins, you know, who's the grandfather of coaching, one of them, and Zig Ziglar. They were saying how if you look at a pole, the last thing that somebody remembers when they're, you know, before they hit the pole is how they don't want to hit the pole. And, you know, they're here on this road, this long, long road, and there's nothing there but freeway. And for whatever reasons, they veer off and hit the pole, and there's no reason that they should hit a pole. But that's where their concentration was, their concentration. But I do think some things are fated to be. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, and Chris, you're right. You have been saying that for years. I mean, and I always laugh every time someone would bring it up. He's like, "Oh Lord, here we go again."
Yeah.
So, but and the thing is that I guess the ideal is to feel like you're in control, and just go along for the ride. Enjoy the ride that you're on, and if the ride takes you, up and down a few twists and turns like a roller coaster, then go ahead and scream and yell and laugh and that kind of thing.
Let's enjoy the ride. For sure. I mean, it's not just about the destination. A lot of us forget about that. We don't enjoy the journey.
Right,
Absolutely.
and it's also don't use it as an excuse to fail, which is to say, well, that's just my life, because, usually it requires some action on your own part. But I've always felt like that, like the big stuff in our life, even if we don't get there on our own, the universe will set itself up and conditions up in a way that forces you into whatever that is, and if it's a must do on your blueprint. And so it's kind of like this past life business. Like, I don't like it when people they surrender to it in that way, which is to say, well, I never have good relationships because in a past life, my husband cheated on me, or I cheated on my wife in my last life, and so now I'm being punished. Like, that's hogwash to me, that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, you're not supposed to, don't lean on that as an excuse, to explain away, failure.
Well, Chris, recently I had a guest on who was a psychologist who we were talking about past lives, and they had just a real interesting perspective on that, in that maybe we really don't have past lives, but what we do is that we draw from the collective consciousness of all lives. We draw from them a lifetime whose experiences are necessary for us to deal with or to maximize this life. So It's not necessarily that we lived that life, but we access a life from the greater consciousness that is important for us to bring in a lesson for us now.
Well, furthermore, if time doesn't exist, then there is no past, or it's all of our lives are happening in different parallel universes all at the same time or something. Anyway, you know what I mean? And so, like, the idea of, like, you really have to wrap your mind around that stuff if you believe in that there's no time. There's no such time, and all things happening, concurrently, and so that's really interesting. I believe
what that did for me was it kind of made sense then why almost every woman felt that they were Cleopatra, or somebody of a nature, but it was like, during her lifetime, whatever she experienced was important for a lot of the females who were tapping into that lifetime.
Well, there was a guest, that in terms of this collective consciousness stuff, and like this whole, it's all floating out there in the universe. I had the one guest who, a lot of his story, like, kind of like, whatever. But one thing he said, it stuck with me all along, which is to say that if before you die, we could all release into, transmute or release or be done with all the anger, hostility, and bitterness and stuff that resides within us, that would really help, because when we die, all of that gets released into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's send only good stuff into the universe when we die. don't send our garbage, negative, harmful energy, because somebody else will collect that and be the recipient of it. And so I thought, like, what a great thing, which is that, you know, if we know anybody that's in a near-death situation, like that they're, you know, ill, or like that, you know, because we don't all get to know that when we're going to die or that we're going to die, but some people do, right? And, you know, it would be really good to, you know, help do some exercises with these people to, you know, transmute or release, you know, any of that, so that if it is true that all of this negative litter really just goes back up for grabs again into the universe, how great would it be if only good stuff was up there for people to, you know, it's like at a I want to say like one of ththese Goodwill stores or shops where people can go and get, you know, stuff that they don't have, right, for cheap or for free. Like let's make there's only good stuff there, you know. And so if we can control some of that by way of working through our stuff during our lifetime, then, you know, maybe as the lifetimes continue, there's less and less space junk, so to speak, emotional space.
Yeah. And or even just take the idea of, you know, when you transition, you know, leave angry, enter angry, you know, or leave happy, enter angry, enter happy, you know. So kind of just choose the way you want to enter into that next phase.
Kind of like they say with, like, there's two things coming to mind with to tag team with that, Robert, which is that married people or whatever that seem to have some success, they're all like, we never go to bed mad, you know, we work our stuff out before we go to bed. And like, while that sounds pie in the sky, sometimes it's not possible. But in other words, what they're saying is we try to work everything out before we go to bed and end our day. And in that way, if they can put to rest that quarrel, then they're waking up the next day without the quarrel. Like the quarrel doesn't start there. And so, like you're saying, end the life. So let's end our life with no quarrels. Don't start quarrels. And so that's I love how because sometimes when you just only think to yourself about this stuff, like it's like something someone else says can trigger a thought or a wondering within me, and then I start to say something, and I'm like, oh, that's actually good, you know what I mean, like that and it's different to put it, and so sometimes just getting a chance to freestyle communicate in this way helps to, I guess, bring to life some new thoughts or ideas, or rephrase them in a way that people would get. You know what I mean? People will understand, and so that's awesome. How's Roy doing?
Yeah. Doing great. Yeah, we're we just celebrated our 28th anniversary. Couple days ago, so that was a major thing, and then next month is my 7-year show anniversary.
Awesome!
Can you believe it?
Congratulations on both.
Amazing. Thanks, Ellie. Yeah.
Great. Crazy. I'm a year behind you, so I had my 6th, like, or whatever. You know what I mean? In July.
That's right. I remember. Yep.
Yeah, so that's awesome, and so congratulations on both accounts. I'm so happy that you popped in. It's always nice to hear you and touch base with you. So that's great. I appreciate that. Say hi to Roy for me.
I sure will.
And yeah, Corrine is talking about the prophecy deck. I also have it. Of course, you guys gifted it to me. Do you guys still have that?
Yeah, we still have some. Yeah. I'm actually working on the 20-year anniversary edition. Can't believe it was over 20 years ago that we put that together, but it's still very relevant, and yeah, people still like it. So yeah, I'm right now doing the booklet, updating the booklet, and getting that ready for publishing. So,
awesome.
yeah. So
where they tell people your website so they can connect with that. And I have it also. Corrine has it. It kind of combines some numerology with, can you just briefly describe that, Robert?
Yeah, it's called Prophecy, and it combines astrology, numerology, and tarot. And and it's just a simple combination of 21 cards with the numbers 1 through 9 and 12 major tarot arcana. And then the board has the 12 zodiac signs as well as 9 other areas like houses like love and finances and that kind of thing. And you just put down the card in the house combination, and it took Roy probably about 18 months to 2 years to channel the interpretations for each of them. And and then it took us probably about 2.5 years to get the whole thing put together and got out there. And it's been fun. And so on the website there is a link to what we have left, and there's also on that page there's a sample where you can go in and get, I think there's 3 different houses I have up there that people can kind of get a sample of what it's like. But that and then I don't know if you know, Chris, but on my new calendar I got Canada and UK and Mexico this year. So I each of those countries I have their national holidays on there, and Lynn's just got one from the UK, and he said it worked out real great there. So So calendar's gone international this year.
Beautiful. So www.biteradio.me.
That's correct.
And then you can catch, and then there's links and everything to all the archives. There's beautiful collection of archives there for people to go and check out as well. And so do go visit that if you're very interested in so many different areas, and not all spirit. Like Robert, I remember you had the kids on, like the environmental stuff and kids and.
Oh yeah, the kids. That was Carter and Olivia Reese, and they have a nonprofit foundation called One More Generation, and it's all about saving endangered species. And they're two of the most, Chris, since they've been on the show, they have been literally around the world. I mean, they've been to South Africa, Indonesia, Korea. They've been to the UN. They've met Jane Goodall, and I mean, these kids are just doing amazing things. And
That's great.
So there's that, and then this upcoming month, I've got some guys from Harvard Business Review coming on talking about all the different kinds of things. So it's fun.
I'm about to give you a link in my chat room here. Lisa Nolan Shalosky sent this to me, and we've talked about the Mandela effect before on my show, but not in the same terms as this year. There's a YouTube video of a kid. He's a brilliant kid, 12 or 13 years old. And he's talking about all these parallel universes, the Mandela effect, and how he believes that we're not even in our own reality anymore. We are not in our own universe. Something happened along the way that put us to the very next. If you imagine that there's all the parallel universes are just like lines up and down, like really close to each other. You know what I mean? All lined up in infinity. And so something happened within hours that bumped us into the next one. And this is what explains, like what some people remember, like Sex and the City as the title of the show. Some people remember it as Sex in the City. The Berenstein Bears, some people remember it as Berenstein, Stein, Bears, and some people remember it as Stain, Berens. So two different spellings. So people are having people remember Mandela dying at a certain time. Other people remember him dying at a whole different time, and they would stake their lives on the answer to this question. When did Mandela die, or whatever? You know what I mean? Like they know it, like they know their own name. And yet, when you go in this particular reality that we're in, there's only one time that he died. You know what I mean? There's only one answer.
Right.
And so the ones that recall it differently, now I think it's possible that now if we just like think about this, like if it's possible that something very dramatic happens in our universe that bumps us to the next one, what if there's something that happens that sends just some people to a different parallel universe? You know what I mean? Not everybody, not the whole world. And so, you remember when people were talking about ascension, and there's two different Earths, and so some will go to, and the bad people will stay on this Earth or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so there, like maybe there's one Earth, but in all of these different universes. You know what I mean? There's one Earth, and so it's like. Different timelines, if you will. You know what I mean? And so what I was thinking is it's really possible that what if it doesn't take a dramatic occurrence for the whole world to bump us all to the next universe? And what if each time any one of us has some life-shattering trauma or something else, maybe singularly, and how about if some of that accounts for some of the missing people in the world? Do you know what I mean? Like, where did these missing people? There's no sign of them. And so, anyways, go listen to this kid. The kid is really amazing, and you may even be able to get this kid on to. Oh, hopefully that link works. Open.
Or maybe we can do it. I'm not on the computer right now, so I wouldn't.
Oh, you're not. Okay. Oh, hang on. I'll forward it to you then in Facebook. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, all right. So anyway, with that, I know that I've taken Hillary into overtime here. So I'm going to park you, Robert, and thank you for talking to us.
I appreciate it. Thank you, and thanks, Hillary, for letting me chat a little bit during your time.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Awesome. Okay, now, so Hillary, so do you have anything you want to leave people with? What's coming up or information or anything like that?
I was just going to say have a safe holiday here in the States, and that's pretty much it. Trying to think of what's coming up, and I just have some classes, so if anybody wants to go to the website. I haven't done any online classes quite yet, but certainly I will be doing some in-person classes soon.
Perfect. Awesome. So next time that you're going to be here is basically a month from now, and I'm just going to like open this up here. Our topic. Oh, October 1st is remote viewing. Remote viewing.
All right.
We'll be talking about remote viewing, and then in November we'll be talking about UFOs and crop circles, and then in December we'll be talking about numerology and finding your life path. And so that takes us to the end of the year with our shows with Hillary. So once again, you guys can find Hillary's website, www.askhillaryblack.com. And on Facebook, just look up Ask Hillary Black and you'll find her really easily. So thank you so much, Hillary. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoyed being on the show. Sorry about the technical difficulties there, but I enjoyed it.
Hopefully all that sorts out.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the show, not the technical difficulties, but I enjoyed the show and talking to everyone. Yes, all right. You guys have a good night. Thanks, you.
Hillary.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Okay, guys, so I think we're done, guys. I could play a song to take us out of here, and I'll come and do a last check sweep. My song list keeps messing up every time I do something. I go back and the order of all my stuff is all messed up. All right, so hang on 2 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna wrap the recorded part of the show. For now, we're back on Tuesday with Lisa, Nolan Shalosky, and no doubt we'll be talking a little bit about their concept that I just was mentioning in terms of the link that she sent, the Mandela effect, and what this kid has to say about it. I'll probably play the YouTube video audio in the show because it's just fascinating to listen to this kid talk about it. But in the meanwhile, thank you everybody for tuning in. The rest of you guys that are still here, feel free to hang out. And we're just going to go off the record and stop the recording. So thank you very much.